Welcome back, and let's continue our chat about rice. Right now, we're going to make rice pilaf. We've seen it for ages at the restaurants as a side dish in lieu of mashed potatoes, and it's actually a super versatile and fun dish that you can kind of change up depending on the seasons. You can make it a cold salad in the summertime. You can serve it warm. You can add butternut squash in the fall. You can put mushrooms in it. It's really up to you, but there's kind of a general way to start rice pilaf. Now, I do mine a little bit different. You guys remember rice-a-roni, the San Francisco treat? The roni part of this was orzo pasta. Orzo pasta, not a rice, it's a pasta. So we're gonna turn on our heat in a saucepan. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna start with 2 tablespoons of butter. You can use olive oil if you like. I like the butter because it gets a little nuttier, kind of like me, I guess, a little nuttier in the saucepan when you stir in the orzo pasta. So the reason you do this process is by browning the rice, or excuse me, the pasta, what you're doing is you're allowing the color on there and the kind of the toasting of it, of the pasta, is gonna create depth of flavor, and that's what we really want in a rice pilaf. So I've got my rice in there just like that. So I've got my spoon here, so we're just gonna stir this all together and we're gonna let it get nice and toasty. It's gonna turn kind of a light, nutty brown, which is going to be exactly what we want. You do want it to change colors. You do not, though, wanna burn it. Okay, so this process is gonna go pretty quick. The pasta is gonna really very quickly start to absorb all of that butter and start to turn brown, as the butter will too. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add in 2 tablespoons of minced onion and 2 cloves of garlic. This is gonna be all of our yummy flavor. So you're gonna hear that sizzle going in there with those. And you're just gonna cook this until your onions become translucent. I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit. I don't wanna burn anything. While that's going, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our long grain rice. I'm gonna put this into a fine mesh strainer, and then I'm gonna pour warm water over it. And what I'm doing is, you see all this milky kind of colored water? That is starch. So this is gonna help us not have a real sticky rice. There you go, our pasta is turning a beautiful nutty brown. I'm gonna put in my rice, just kind of let it burn off some of that extra moisture. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 2 cups of chicken broth or stock. It's your choice. That is homemade stock from last year, from some rotisserie chickens. I'm gonna stir this together. I'm going to add a couple sprigs of fresh thyme. This is just gonna add some flavor. These little leaves are gonna fall off in the process and give us added taste. Add a little bit of salt. Let this cook down. It's gonna be beautiful in a minute. In the final stages, I'm gonna put some toasted pumpkin seeds for a fall flare. And then I've got some golden raisins that I'm just gonna drain. I have these actually sitting in warm water because it allows the raisins to plump up. I'm just gonna throw those in there right now. That's gonna add a sweetness to this rice pilaf. We're gonna let this cook. We're gonna let all the moisture and the broth absorb into this. And then we're gonna have the most decadent rice pilaf you've ever had. And I promise your family will love it. And come back on Wednesday and I'll have more recipes. I hope you enjoy.